you like in each of these weapons too has a different advantage. If you get bombs, and you've got bombs obviously for escape, to go check the room. And we're not getting the sword. And Uncle is like, "Get to the castle."
Such a bad joke, but you know what? Bad jokes are what we do here.
Yes, this is what we do in the rando community. The worse joke sometimes, the worse pun sometimes, the better. And you may see a pause here very quickly for some of our runners. We'll be doing a little bit of syncing up here just to make sure that everyone's together.
All right, Zell is going to be the first one on stream, and my favorite, the Cane of Brian.
That is not a bad choice. We'll get a full magic fill on that, which will be nice. And we got a couple magic pots here to fill back up. But only got ourselves a 20 rupee there.
See, I don't want them to have another weapon available to them. I want them to have to use Berna for the entirety of it. All right, so the escape sequence otherwise is pretty boring, although Berna is not a weapon that a lot of runners have practice with. You know, a lot of people will practice with bombs or arrows or fire rods. Berna is one of those that after you get out of here, it's pretty worthless. I mean, it's technically a weapon. There are options to be able to kill some bosses with that I've had horrible experiences with, but other than that, it's not even a whole lot of farming that can be done with this.
No, but I do want to say that we did see from all four of our runners there very nice execution on the Berna tech, getting the blue guard trapped up there inside the Berna animation. There's a little sprite that goes around, and if you time it just right and are facing in the right direction when the guard is down, he'll get stuck and pushed up against the wall. And we saw all four of them do that. It looks like we're seeing everybody do it again here, so you can see. There we go. Again, nice pushes all around. A little bit slower for Zelga, but other than that, got the flippers.
That's a nice upgrade. Interesting, if you look at their magic meter, it looks like Relkin's actually the most efficient with the Cane of Berna at this point in time. Everyone else looks like they only have a few more ticks, so they aren't going to be able to do a ton of farming here. Probably going with pot strats. They're going to be avoiding using as much of their magic as they possibly can through here.
Yeah, because they'll need some of that for the next part of our journey here, and pots are relatively quick and easy to do. It's also worth shouting out here, of course, we have all of our lovely sprites that you can choose from for the randomizer. We've got 4 completely different sprite choices here for each of our runners. Looks like Sabo is doing his usual, going with Popoi from, I believe it's from Secret of Mana, right? Is that? I can't remember which of the games it is. Yeah, okay, my brain is correct on that. And obviously Zelga going with another familiar choice in Phoenix Wright. Relkin with the Mario sprite, and Karnath going with, looks like Dark Link or Shadow Link. Can't remember what the exact name of that sprite is.
Yeah, I think it's Dark Link, and it's in the Mario sprite. I was trying to see if it was original Mario or Cappy Mario, and it looks like it's the original Mario sprite.
Yeah, that's part of the fun of all these sprites, is every time the game updates with the logic, you usually get like a bunch of sprites that come with it too that people have been working on. So every logic update's like, okay, what new sprites do we have here? And it's an adventure to get to explore those.
Worth noting, Sabatender has been using the pots to kill enemies as he goes, and he actually got a bomb drop from one of the guards. None of the other runners do, so he's going to be in fine shape to be able to check those back 3 treasure chests. We already have the key and the map, so that's going to be 3 items of possible value there. that none of these other runners have farmed any bombs, and really there's not going to be a whole lot of opportunity to farm with this particular opening weapon. Oh, Relkin got one.
Zelga got one as well. Looks like there may be a drop there with the snakes. That Karnath going ahead and skipping.
That's really the weakness of this particular weapon start. And it's similar to with the Fire Rod. You're given so many limited opportunities to farm up bombs that if you don't get any, it could really play a hindrance into how you run it later. Okay, Karnath trying to farm up something from these rats, but not doing it.
And that's one of the other things to keep in mind too with this is if you look at Roken there, really low on magic, but got the key. Got to be careful with that. Oh, and 8 bomb drop there from Karnath. So everybody's got bombs. Everybody's gonna get to check this left side. Chests here, 20 rupees, a full heart, and silvers. Oh, nice find there. Zelga getting open up first, but all of our runners will have silver arrows. Really nice to find those early because you don't have to worry about swordless tactics, and it's just a lot easier.
Well, and the silvers really don't do as much good until we end up getting the bow, but it's a nice thing to check off the list because as soon as you do find the bow, you effectively have your boss weapon for the rest of the game.
Indeed. Ganon not doing a very good job of hiding those silver arrows, though. Not this time, at least.
No, I figure like in the basement of the castle, you want to hide your weakness a little bit more, like behind a almost unbombable wall or something.
I would say like the worst place you could hide them would be in the first chest in Link's house. Be like, did you find the silver arrows I hid in your house that you would never find?
That's Dr. Robotnik level planning right there. Like I have hidden my one weakness in the one place you will never think to look. In your house.
Sabo picking up some bombs. I say that's a pretty good choice there.
Yes, a little bit of route divergence here.
Yeah.
We have Sabo kind of doing a hard reset. We had Relkin check the lumberjack ledge. It looks like Karnath is going to do that as well. Zell is actually skipping that and just heading on up north. Sabo is doing a strat that has been popularized recently, I would say, and that's avoiding Kakariko Village until you make some other checks in the south well area and mini Moldorm Cave, sometimes even popping over to Eastern to check those areas, and then coming back, because by then you might even have full access to Dark World you could pop right over.
That is a good point, and it does pay off a little bit for Saba right there, getting the first sword in the chest right inside the drain area here for the dam.
Yeah, it's absolutely something.
Ooh.
But Zell with the hook shot in Blind's basement.
Ooh.
And the hammer.
Ooh, and the fire rod is a little bit damp, but Sabo's got it now.
It'll dry off soon enough. This seed is front loaded. My goodness.
I would be a little bit scared about that. Front loaded usually means there's going to be a very pain in the butt item to go find, and it's going to be somewhere very difficult. It's like, hey, here's all these options. Go search around for stuff, and yeah, there's your go mode item is going to be buried somewhere deep within the game. Ooh, and there's the Moon Pearl in the well.
Ether Medallion and the flute. Sabo Tender.
Nice. Oh, second sword. Oh, wow.
And there's
Lift
the gloves.
upgrade cape. Oh.
We have Dark World access already.
Yeah, I was going to say. 9-minute Dark World access. Pretty good. Pretty good.
So, Sabo, with his flippers, already doing the Zora checks as well.
Doesn't have enough money to do all of the checks, but probably maybe go check on the ledge, perhaps here, and then save and quit. Back to Kakariko.
Well, I certainly hope so for Sabatender's sake, with everything that's available to him. I mean, if you're looking early Dark World access, and there's the Bloomerang up on Zora's Ledge, not going to go to get that. 3 crystals in the Light World. I do want to give a quick shout out to Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna and Dawning Arc, who are trackers who are putting in all of their work on the front end of this seed, apparently.
Yeah, I kind of feel like maybe our wonderful trackers are doing a wonderful job tonight. They'll be able to like check out of here in like 20 minutes when we're in go mode. I'm kidding, but yeah, thank you very much for all of your tracking help and all of the trackers for all the runs. Always incredibly helpful to have them because they help us not go insane trying to remember where things are and who's got what.
Now, I still like Sabatender's routing here because he will have the flute and he'll be able to unlock that in one trip to Kakariko. So, all things told, I think he's still going to be in a very, very good position. None of the other runners, at least on stream, immediately went to the Dark World. Although this is a community race, I would not doubt for 1 second that someone decided, I'm right next to a portal. I have Dark World access. I'm already in CAC. Let's do it.
Yep, I would not be surprised. And it'll be interesting to see if we get like someone who finishes really early and that was their strat. But yeah, Sabatender's going to have a pretty okay lead, I would say. Won't be like 20 minutes lead or something like that, but he'll have a little bit of a lead here because you won't have to come back to Kakariko again to activate the flute.
Worth noting, the hook shot, in addition to being just kind of an all-around nice item able to clear out the mini Moldorm cave, is also really nice for navigation. You can use the hook shot to hook onto some items and really help navigate around the early portions of the game much quicker than you would normally be able to without the boots. So just a nice item to have overall. We see Karnath and Relkin and Zell all taking advantage of that.
Yeah, I've got Captain MD in chat pointing out something too real quick here. Skullwoods and Thieves' Town are full clearable already, so it'll be interesting to see maybe once Sabo clears out Kakariko, if we see him go ahead and dive into Dark World, do a app check first to see if he needs to go to those dungeons, and then if he does, go ahead and complete it. Oh, there's our first Dark World. Zelga's going to go for it.
Hey, we're going to have a sub 15-minute hype cave check, and it does look like Misery Mire, Ice Palace, and Swamp Palace are... Oh my goodness. So early flippers, but both Swamp and Ice, which require the flippers, are pendants. That's interesting.
Yeah, and Ice Palace is the green pendant, so... We're not hoping for Sahasrara, we're not hoping for Pet. It could be that, and boy, that would be a wrench in the gears here. There's the boots and Hype Cave, and the bottle, and the lift upgrade. Okay,
10 of 10.
Set. 10.
10 of 10.
10.
Hype Cave earns its name. That happens like once, every 50 races. Yeah.
Tasia, what is this? What is this seed?
Okay, everyone, remember, Fear Agent rolled this seed, so if you're ever in any future tournaments, ask for Fear.
Yeah. Well, that's the rule from now on. Fall tournament, be like, no, Fear, you're gonna roll all my seeds for me. And then I'm gonna screw it up, so...
Well, and here's an interesting thing, because when everything is front-loaded like this and it opens up the entire world, you mentioned it earlier, if you're only looking for one item for go mode, then it can really put a damper on what you're looking for, because it could be anywhere.
Yep.
And that's where we're looking at right now, because, those flippers unlocking 2 pendant dungeons is really nerve-wracking right now if you're thinking, oh, I need to find the ice rod.
Ooh, and there's a 3rd sword upgrade at the digging game. The heck? Game, please.
Yeah, I want to know why I can't ever get these seeds.
This is like the kind of seed you play when you feel really bad. Like you have like a bad day. You're just like, I want the easiest seed in the world. And then you just play this, you're like, I feel great. And then it turns into like a 40-minute adventure because you need your go mode item and it's nowhere.
See Zell showing off the hammer dash. Again, one of the reasons why we use, when we're doing the randomizer, we're using the Japanese version of the ROM because that is not available in the American version. You have to use Japanese for that.
Specifically Japanese 1.0. This is the very first version of the game. Before they fixed all of the things that make things like the hammer dash and fake flippers and stuff possible.
Relkin actually is showing us a little bit of Skull Woods up here. We'll be getting the full magic refill that's through this wall, and then the enemy dropped a full magic refill, so
do not need.
Yeah, and Counterfeit Saint actually makes an interesting point. Yeah, we're at 5 hearts, green mail still, and the logic could dictate to us that our next progression is in Ice Palace with everything doing a boatload of damage to you, and you just have to play it like a one-hit KO because everything is just about a one-hit KO to you.
Right, you could have a situation where like all of the full hearts and a lot of the heart pieces end up in Ganon's tower, as well as both of the mail upgrades. Totally possible because these are not things that are required to beat any dungeons or to access any dungeons. They're simply items that are in the game to make it a little easier. So they can be pretty much anywhere without breaking logic.
Relkin showing off those ether strats, using the ether medallion in that room. A lot easier to get around those Gibdos than trying to maneuver your way around them. It may take like a half second or a second longer, but man, the ease that you can get through that, so much nicer.
Yeah, remember how we were discussing the diversity of routing at this point with all this early game stuff? Take a look at our screen. We've got 4 completely different locations being checked right now. Thieves Town, Death Mountain, Bonk Rocks, and we've got a Mothula fight in the bottom left corner there with Relkin. This really is what a seed like this with so much front-loaded stuff really sets up. Is just, it's wide open. You can kind of go anywhere. There's no real progression that's pointing you go here, do this thing. You have to. You don't have a choice. It's kind of like, okay, you've got multiple possibilities. You'll need to explore them all eventually, but who knows?
So we have the ether medallion. We are, holy, my goodness. I'm trying to take a look at everything, but are we legitimately, let's see, bow, ice rod, technically lamp, and cane of Samaria. We only need 4 items technically for Goma, plus whatever medallions we need to enter Turtle Rock, which we might already have in ether.
That would certainly be something, man. That's the possibility of a thing that could really be a buzzkill on the seed being a fast seed, is if it's, they gotta go get Quake, and Quake's like buried somewhere.
Sabatender showing us Death Mountain right now, which is just a cornucopia of treasure chests. Gets another shield. Yeah, now things are going to start slowing down for these runners quite a bit. Just looking for those items. Chat pointing out, I guess I missed it, Lamp was on the Lake Hylia island, so that's one of our go mode items. I don't know how well these runners know dark rooms. They may opt to completely avoid that.
I think most of them, as far as knowledge, I think most of them are fairly skilled. We've already seen Sabo go ahead and do a dark room here, getting up to Death Mountain. It's a relatively easy one to do, but still, I know that at least some of these runners know how to do the dark rooms.
Chad also pointing out you either need also the book or the mirror to be able to get into Desert Palace, which is a crystal. Thank you for clearing that up. But another thing Chat points out, between Swamp Palace, Misery Mire, and Ice Palace, those items, the King of Samaria cannot be on the pedestal, and Lamp can't be. Well, we already know where Lamp is. So the rest of our Go Mode items, other than King of Samaria, can absolutely be on the pedestal, which is an absolute nightmare at this point in time.
Yeah, the other thing that can't be on the pedestal would be whatever access you would need to get into Misery Mire. C-shaped house has the magic powder.
And Sabatender has to take a dip into the basement of Tower of Hera while he's overdoing this. Got the coffee break.
And we did get the green pendant hint, which is that it's just some cash, so knows the house will turn in today.
Man, we have not even gone over to the Eastern Palace area to take a quick peek. I know that, and it's interesting because it looked like Sabotender was actually going to make those plays, but with everything else that is going on, immediately being able to go to the Dark World, I don't blame him for not checking those. I don't blame anyone for not going over there, but it's just unusual. Usually we get one of those checks at this point in time. Alright, so Zell is now checking out Skullwoods, which has already been cleared out by Relkin. You're absolutely right. This is going to be one of those races where, while some races end up being a little bit linear because we have an early bottleneck, especially those early Aga seeds, this one is so wide open that these 4 runners are all going to be in 4 different spots for the entire race until they're all in Ganon's Tower, at which point they're all like 2 rooms apart.
Maybe so. We'll have to see here. Maybe there's a decision as far as which location you go to that really pays off, and whoever gets there first is going to have a little bit of a lead. Fire Rod Dash, of course, they're from Zelda. Very nice to see. Doesn't particularly do anything, it just looks really fancy.
And that hint from Relkin is showing us what we already know from Sabatender, that Tower of Hera Big Key requires fire. Zell gets his second crystal already. That's actually, he's on a good pace right now. 2 crystals already. Relkin has 1. Sabatender has 1. Karnath is on his way to his first already.
And now Spiral Cave check for Sabo.
These are still the first checks we've gotten over here to this particular part. Zell now showing us King's Tomb, actually.
We did see that earlier. Karnath was down there. It's a heart. Full heart. Yep.
I do not know what's going on anymore.
Looks like it was just arrows in Spiral Cave. It wasn't anything too bad. Just a bunch of junk. And now Super Bunny Cave check on the side of Subatender. As Carnath is now taking care of Moldworm, and Rilken's about to do Blind. Looks like Zug is going to head up here to... Nope, not going to head up here to go to Death Mountain. I'm going to go check back. And a bunch of junk at Super Bunny Cave, and just some bombs up on that ledge. Finally got to see what was up there.
No, nothing special from Skull Woods or Tower of Hera in particular. See, it's Quake, so we do not have access to Turtle Rock quite yet from that. Sabatender now going to be showing us what's in Hookshot Cave. First look at this.
There's Quake. Wow. I was about to say that's gonna happen, isn't it? We're gonna have Quake. Yeah, of course, it's always there.
It'll be right there, absolutely. Because I would ask where our next progression is, but let's be realistic. We still have a lot of ground to cover yet.
Yep, Sick Kid's Big 20. So I'll go giving us that little check. I think Sabo wants to go ahead and do Spike Cave here.
Yeah, he's got, looks like some blue goo. So he's going to be trying to get through here as quickly as possible. He'll be able to get through. Ooh, oh. Zell is showing us the magic bat.
₹300.
That truly is a Batman cave because that bat is rich. And 300 rupees also from the Spike Cave.
So Saba has very much cleaned out Death Mountain. I wonder if we're going to see some Dark World. No, I'm going to see the bird. Oh, yeah, we're going to see Kakariko. Just going to take the quicker way. Probably go to Dark World now for Saba Tender.
In all likelihood, yes. I'm trying to think. Let's see. The next... Where are we going next? What's our new location do you think we'll be checking out?
Good question. You want to make a play for a crystal dungeon if you can. You know, we've seen 3 of them, and we know there's like junk in all 3 of them. So, options would be to go into something like Palace of the Darkness, Eastern Palace, maybe, and try and look for something in there, knowing you might have to double dip. The other real option would be Swamp Palace, which is a pendant. Don't know if you really want to go in there, but
well, we don't have the mirror yet.
That's right, yeah.
Pyramid and Catfish might be a check. We haven't done any the Jeremiah loop yet to turn that in. That requires a save and quit because we don't have the mirror, but it's something that's doable at least. Just takes quite a bit of time. The other option, yeah, I think at this point, Pod is going to be probably the most efficient play, and it looks like Relkins might be heading over in that direction.
I was about to say, Relkin probably going to check Pyramid, and then maybe dip over to Pod. Maybe Pyramid Catfish, and then to Pod. Possibility for sure. There's a Hook Dash course. Just a Red Meringue up there on the ledge. Rocket's gonna get it. Okay. Cool.
I mean, it's a superior boomerang, so yeah.
Right. Might as well. I just know a lot of runners just are like, yeah, I don't want to deal with the boomerang. So a lot of them will just kind of skip it, but
Cardath is actually going to show us a dip over, and this is might be an interesting check. over here to
Meyer shed.
Meyer.
It's Quake. Okay. Big 20 and a blue mail showing up there in the Meyer shed.
That's actually not bad. And then Catfish was garbage.
Starting to look more and more like the answer to our question on where we go next. Gotta be with Dungeon, probably gotta be Pod. At this point. Pod or Eastern.
Oh, Sabo took a death there from the Gibdos. Being rude.
Yeah, unfortunate, but at the same time also not too bad because it's not too difficult to get back to that part. And, second half of Skullwoods here. Just gotta be a little careful.
Skullwoods is one of those places that, between the Gibdos and all the spikes that are in Mothula's room, it doesn't matter what kind of armor you have, it's gonna be a little bit dangerous no matter what.
Yeah, I think he was trying to save magic and just kind of it didn't work out as planned. Ooh, nice. Nicely done. Got the key. Just next to a spike. Ooh, and gets the transition just in time. There's a Wallmaster hand coming down. You gotta be careful. If you get grabbed by the Wallmaster and you haven't fully transitioned off the screen yet, in that drop, you get grabbed and you get sent back to the start. Yeah, I was gonna say he's probably saving magic for this fight. It's a little bit easier if you have the Fire Rod, which just ran out of magic. But he's got it.
Well, now it seems like our runners are pretty well just running over each other's steps at this point in time. They're checking the other checks. They're clearing out the other dungeons. So, yeah, they're all making smart plays and smart checks. Absolutely. But at this point, I'm thinking Pod, if I'm these runners, I at least have the hammer. I don't have the bow, so I'll be able to tell very, very early if I'm bow locked. Most of the runners at least have one bottle.
Rock could go in the Ice Rock Cave.
I think we've already had an Ice Rock Cave check, and it was garbage.
We might. Okay, yeah, we might have. I wouldn't be shocked if it was garbage. It's usually either garbage or like your go mode item. Oh, yep. Yeah, that's right. It's Big 20.
Lots of speculation in chat as to where to go to next. And, some of the someone's got to be right. I think if I were these runners, I would dip Pod in the hopes. But, the high-risk, high-reward play might be checking out Ice Palace, which is accessible, a green pendant, and full clearable. But man, it is like the least appealing thing you want to be doing right now.
It'll be very interesting to see exactly where we end up with all of these checks going on right now.
Another check that we haven't seen yet is Zora himself. We saw Sabo head up there early before he had the money. I think Sabo will be the last person to go back up there. The other runners haven't made a trip up there at all, I don't believe. That might be intriguing to see, because if if some progression ends up being on Zora himself, it could make for a long night for Sabatender.
Definitely could, but one of those things that is that we're just not going to know about till we see somebody go up there and do it, which we haven't seen yet.
Karnath now on his Mothula fight, and with the Master Sword has not been down south yet, I believe, to get that third sword upgrade that's in the digging game. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult of a fight than the other runners have had. And gets through it. Meanwhile, Zell is now checking out Hookshot Cave, which we have seen. It includes Quake is in Hookshot Cave, which we do know is needed. So this is kind of our first bottleneck for at least the runners that are on stream. You know, they can clear out Tower of Hera, Skull Woods, and Thieves Town. Can't access Desert Palace. Don't want to quite dip Pod yet, which are the two other dungeons. Eastern Palace is also a possibility. We just don't have the bow to be able to do that, or technically the lamp. So that is actually super interesting if we think about that. The lamp is on the Lake Hylia ledge, which means that the mirror cannot be locked behind a dark room.
Correct.
Which means it mirror. I mean, oh my goodness, there's so much stuff to take into account with that. That means mirrors almost got to be one of the next things we find, right?
You would think so.
Relkin, giving us our first look here, is doing at least the first part of Jeremiah to see if they have anything, and just some explosion. Zal is our first runner with 3 crystal dungeons done. Nothing else is clearable, so it'll be real interesting how he's doing this particular check. Have we seen Lumberjack? Yes, it is 3 bombs, so nothing worth doing.
Yeah, you're not gonna go kill Aga for a triple bomb pack.
I mean, you could. I wouldn't recommend it in a race, but you could.
Good, if it was the only bombs left on planet Earth. Or Hyrule.
Yeah, I don't think Hyrule's actually on planet Earth. But
no, it isn't, but...
So Zell actually looks like he's prepping to turn in the purple chest because he had just turned in Jeremiah, and now he's dashing down this way. We know that's garbage, though, based on a hint that we had earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Relkin got the shovel, though. Where did he get that? I completely missed that.
Purple chest.
Oh, right. Right. Yeah. And money. Sabatender going to be excited to find his sword upgrade here directly. Yeah, we're starting to get antsy. Chat's getting a little antsy here. They want to know. They want to see something new. We're just watching reruns of everyone else right at the moment. Death Mountain, Jeremiah, Thieves Town, Ice Rod Cave. Everyone's doing these other checks. We want some new blood. Ice Rod, or someone dive Ice Palace or Palace of Darkness. Let's do something crazy.
Go crazy, kids! Come on.
Yeah, and you know, we're also worried about Zora because I still think Sabatender will be the last one to ever do Zora because he's already been up there. He's got to take a gamble on that. But, we'll see. And Zell is heading up that way. Karnath will be on his blind fight. Relkin, it looks like, is heading over to Tower Era. Sabatender doing the world tour, picking up the superior boomerang. Zell is going to be the one showing us some new information here, though. Get your guesses in, chat. What is Zora? Is he going to scam us, or is this going to be progression?
I think it's going to be a scam. Yeah, probably.
I mean, it's a unique item, but still kind of a scam because we don't need it.
That is correct.
The other play that hasn't been made, we haven't seen anyone do a Gina's Cave yet, which would be horrible. All right, so our options at this point are really down to 4 locations. We can dive Ice Palace. Well, okay. More than that. Okay. So the Eastern Palace area. We can dive Palace of Darkness. We can dive Ice Palace. We can technically dive Misery Mire. And then there's also Agina's Cave. Where's it going to be?
I'm going to say Gina's Cave.
Agina's Cave for the memes?
Yep. Agony Cave in full force. Everyone's going to feel really stupid because they could have checked it like 30 minutes ago.
Well, here's another check that I don't think we've actually done is Hobo, which, I mean, that could... The flipper's got to lead to something, right?
Yeah, you think so. Are we in hobo mode? Nope. He just took his last bit of money.
I always wonder, do we threaten the hobo, or does he voluntarily help out the hero of time?
I think he's just like, hey, just leave me alone. Here, have this.
And Zell is doing it, making moves. Ice Palace. Yeah, grumble, grumble. I think that's how Zell feels, having to dip into Pendant Ice Palace.
Sabatender joining Selga in Ice Palace. I think that there'd be something here, if it's possible.
Well, let's see. Oh, and Karnath ran into the woman calling for help. Oops.
Help! There's a weird man with a small dwarf following me around.
I mean, let's be realistic. If a man with a small dwarf was following me around in the real world, I might call for help.
That'd be pretty cool.
Oh my gosh, two troll, or two misdeeds in terms of the hint tiles in the same dungeon.
No, it's never fun.
Alright. Oh, looks like Karnath is taking the long way up to Zora, actually. And three Jokins in Ice Palace.
That's no fun.
I don't know, 3 troll hints. I don't know, something feels like it's got to be here, but it may not be. We're starting to run out of stuff.
Yeah, you never know. It could be a situation where it's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna troll you now, but I was a little worried about this. There's the big key. I was a little worried things are going too smooth.
Well, this is what we talked about earlier. When the sea just throws everything but the kitchen sink at you, you're now going to spend the rest of the seed hunting for that kitchen sink. Yeah, we've gotten garbage so far, and it looks like Relkin is actually going to make the low percent play over here to Misery Meyer. This could be interesting. Meanwhile, Karnath is heading over to the Eastern Palace area. Don't forget, no one's checked Sahasrara yet. Nothing in the closet. I think at this point, the only thing we have not seen... I don't think we've seen Ice Tea Room, and I don't think we've seen the big treasure chest yet. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Zell is going to show us the last item location. Sabotender is going to be right on his butt. Oh, and the quick kill by Zell. That was a beautiful cold stare, and it is required! Cane of Samari.
That's what we were looking for. All the way to the end.
No, that's nasty. Meanwhile, Relkin found one of the items. I think it was nothing really worth mentioning. And then Karnath is going through Eastern Palace as well. There are 3 items in Eastern. Don't think we found anything there to note yet. Book! Hey, that's actually unlocked Desert Palace for us. Oh, and that hint was a heart was in the Firelock portion of Misery Mire, and there's the heart. That's the 2 items in Misery Mire, so Misery Mire is officially a bust. So Zell making the play, he is immediately going to Turtle Rock and says, hey, I can do just about everything in here. We know that the mirror will not be past the dark room, so it cannot be on Laser Bridge. So that is out of play. Although logically, I don't think the mirror's not even required this seed now. So Relkin going Ice Palace, which we know is something he will need to do, so that's perfectly fine. Sabo is actually going over to Eastern Palace, which we know, based on Karnath, doesn't really have anything. Meanwhile, Karnath is going to be following that book, which is a smart play. Meanwhile, Zell has not found anything in Turtle Rock as of yet, but we still have lots to. One of our trackers, Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna, says Zelga has already found 2 items. Other 3 are possibly on Laser Bridge. I mean, it's a good thought there. It's not guaranteed, but it's a good thought. It is a pretty high percentage chance at this point in time. We shall see. So book is required because we just got a hint. We have a sand-covered mirror, or we just got the mirror in Desert Palace, actually, from Karnath. Wow. Actually, at this point, I don't want to see the mirror. Because the mirror unlocks Pendant Swamp. And I'd rather not go there. Yep, Swamp can have Ice Rot, Swamp can have Bow. I mean, Swamp can have anything that we're looking for at this point. Oh man, if something is in Mimic Cave, I don't think we've gotten a Mimic Cave hint yet. That would be.
That would be something interesting.
All right, Karnath is now going to be doing his land mold fight. Meanwhile, Zell is about to do Laser Bridge. Gonna see what's up with this one. No, Turtle Rock was almost entirely a bust. I mean, Golden Sword, but meh. Sabatender just picked up his mirror. Chat pointing out, and it's something that I missed originally, Sabatender did nope out, did not beat Cold Stare, which is required because of that Cane of Samaria.
Mm-hmm.
Relatively clean fight there for Relkin. Not quite as textbook as Zell's, but still very, very good. And rewarded with his cane. Karnath, meanwhile, is on his way over here to Palace of Darkness. Zell is dipping into Eastern. Will get his book, so that'll be his access to Desert Palace. Karnath is going to show us very early. Key, yes, so not quite a Bowlock dungeon.
about time here to start thinking what we're still missing and where it could be. You're seeing Zelga go through Eastern Palace at this point.
Chat's asking, is potion glitch worth it at this point? I mean, it's like it's possible. The two items we are missing right now, and it's pretty dangerous because it's the ice rod, which can be literally anywhere, and it's the bow, which can theoretically, both of those things could be on the pedestal. So we might be looking at a pedestal steed. We are quickly running out of options right now. I know everything is technically within logic right now for Karnath, and we'll see just a compass there. We know the bow cannot be in the bow-locked portion of Palace of Darkness, so it may not even be worth it to do the potion glitch, per se. It'll be interesting, though, because what are we... Oh, just 20 rupees. I think we might have to be doing a dip into Swamp Palace, and if not, then there's if they're not both there, there's a strong likelihood that we have something on the pedestal.
Boy, that would be quite a twist, wouldn't it?
Pod is a bust. There was nothing whatsoever there. And Karnath is noping out. He is not doing the bottle glitch. It looks like Relkin might actually be doing the bottle glitch. The Moon Pearls and Kakariko well. Thanks, game. Yeah, it's got to be Swamp Palace at this point in time, or... Well, it's something in Swamp Palace. Whether or not both items are in Swamp Palace, or we're going to have to pull the pedestal, which will require a dip into Swamp anyway. And Dawning Arc asking, I don't remember those hint tiles being useful at all, ever. And you're right, in the original game, they are not. But in our randomizer, as a version, I think it was introduced in version 29 or so, those hint tiles will now actually give you hints as to where anything is located. So it's not an actual item location, but it is something to take into consideration. Okay. So.
Yep. There's the bow in K45. But we're still looking for that ice rod. And the mirror. Oh wait, no, we got the mirror. We just need the ice rod. Where could it be? And that's a question that haunts many a runner. Where's the ice rod? Because there's a extremely large number of locations where it can be, especially if it's required for Turtle Rock. It can be anywhere before you get to Trinex. And it's not against Tower. So, pretty much the entire map is open for that.
Yep, it could be anywhere. So, I think Karnath is doing well in terms of checking the mirror locations, and he also has the book, so he's going to be checking these locations over here. We also, of all places, have not checked Agina yet.
Right, and we might see Karnath do that right now because, hey, we're right here. Why not? No, Karnath, no. Agina's right there. You're so close. Oh, we're good.
Even the people who have cleared Desert Palace have not checked Agina.
Right, so we're seeing, looks like Karnath's gonna go back to back here and do Palace of Darkness and immediately follow it up into Eastern Palace, probably knock these two out one after another. Having the bow will make that certainly a possibility.
Sabatender, meanwhile, checking out Misery Mire. We know that's a bust. My goodness. What? Was there a hint tile that said Agina was worthless? Am I missing something? Alright, checkerboard cave for both Sabotator and Zell, and it's the single green rupee.
The best. Oh, finally, Akina check from Zelga. Probably Sabo as well. Since you're here, you may as well do it. Could we be in no mode?
That would be the worst, honestly. If Ice Rod has been here the entire time.
Nope. Okay, so Agony Cave is avoided for tonight. Relkin going in a Turtle Rock though. Making the bet that it's in TR. This is not one you want to have to double dip.
And unfortunately, we've already seen all of TR, and we know it's not there.
Right. So the question now is, where is this last item at? Zelga's gonna get the bow. It looks like Sabo's gonna get the bow as well. Both of them heading over toward and into K45.
Well, they're going to clear out the crystal dungeons that they need to. So if it happens to be on Helmasaur or even on the Armos Knights, then we'll know very, very quickly.
Right.
My guess, though, is we're going to have to take a dip in the swamp.
That would be hilarious. Absolutely hilarious if that was the case. But yeah, this is the danger. We talked about it before. The danger of the quick start on the seed is that you get into a situation like this where you've got one item, and unfortunately, it's the item that's the most elusive in the game. The Ice Rod this is often the go mode item that we're looking for, and it's usually buried somewhere, and it takes forever to find it.
Yeah, and it's largely just a product of it only being required for one fight that's usually at the very end of everything. And it's just unfortunate that it always ends up having to be the case. But at least, you know, these runners are comfortable with the another Ice Rod.
Yep. I mean, if we had $1 for every time that happened on the stream, you know, SG Live's the pool for the SG Live tournament was to be like worth like $2.5 million because they just have so much money.
All right, Karnath on his Helmasaur King fight.
Just to say, this happens a lot. All right. And just a single arrow. It's nice to have the silvers going into this fight.
The silvers were one of the first items we got in the game, and then of course we're on the boat. And do you want to do a fetch quest? Yes, we do.
You know, I'm gonna say something here. I want to shout this out in chat. Mr. Bus Driver about 2 minutes ago said, "Ice Rod on which turn in? We just got the mushroom." Mr. Bus Driver, have you downloaded the seed into your mind? Do you know where this item is?
Burn the witch! Burn the witch!
Ratasia, wait. We gotta turn in the mushroom, then we can burn the witch.
Oh, okay.
Right. We need to get our item first. Then we'll deal with the rest of it.
Right now, we're just measuring to see if he is heavier than a duck to determine if he is a witcher.
Does he float?
If anyone got that reference, I salute you.
I love that movie. Let's not go to Totoro. It's a very city place. And we are getting to see the Space Mountain here on Relkin's side, which is the basement room here without the lights on, because it's like a roller coaster in the dark.
All right, so Relkin is about to face his disappointment.
Yep. Meanwhile, Karnath is going and taking care of Armos Knights, so we'll have this one cleared. And at that point, if it's not here, then Karnath's got a decision to make on where to go.
Someone pointed out in chat, there's also above the graveyard ledge, which we haven't been able to check yet.
Yep, that's a possibility. But it's only a big 20. 6 crystals for Karnath. First one to complete that quest on stream at least. Zelga's got 4. Sabo's about to pick up number 5 here in Helmasaur fight. Relkin's at 3, so a little bit behind, but not too far behind.
Keep in mind, we're turning in our mushrooms, so we'll know if we have a witch soon.
Yep.
Keep in mind, Karnath also hasn't done Ice Palace, so that's something he's going to have to get done.
Huge time save. If it's it's just a little bit of love. Gonna pick up some potions though. It's convenient. But yeah, Ice Palace. What was an Ice Palace that we? Oh yeah, King Samarna. That's right. So yeah, he will have to go through and do that.
Which is actually a blessing for Karnath, because right now, not having the cane is allowing him to dodge dipping Turtle Rock, which is something that 2 of our other runners have done.
And would you look at that? Not yet going to Ice Palace. I thinking it's a pendant dungeon. I don't want to go in there and have it be a bad decision. We'll have to go in there eventually, but just trying to see if it's somewhere else. Maybe doing great. Yeah, maybe doing Graveyard Ledge now. Red Armor pointing that out. I would agree. It's probably Graveyard Ledge check.
Makes sense. It's what he's dashing for right now.
Yeah, it's good to get these one-off locations out of the way as well. They're a little bit harder to route in, especially this late. You've got all these extra little squares. If you were looking at the map where you've checked and where you haven't checked, you've got these little squares that are just not conveniently located anywhere. So you have to try and kind of maximize your routing on that to get these one-off locations.
No.
Nope.
I'm honestly hoping for a pedestal at this point in time. You know, I've a long history.
That would be quite brutal. Boy, that would be something else, wouldn't it? It turns out to be Pet Seed all along. It's kind of funny. I wonder if Karnath... No, it's going to go to the Dark World. I wonder if he was going to check at first since he's up here. At this point, you know, you're probably thinking, I've got all these dungeons completed. I can't go to TR. Maybe I should go ahead and at least check that just to make sure I don't have to go do all the dungeons.
Question in chat from Dilettante. Did Mimic Cave get checked with the TR dips? No, it did not. We did not have the mirror for the 2 people who did those particular checks, which means that is a possibility, which would be the only saving grace, really, for Karnath if he ends up doing Ice Palace and then promptly does that. Man, if I were these runners right now, if you have the book I would try to go over and make a check for that pedestal, just because that's playing with the back of my mind right now.
Yeah, we haven't got a hint or anything on that, but Karnath, of course, having gotten a shovel now, is going to have to do the dig spot real quick here, so it takes a little bit more time. Yep. And for those wondering what the mushroom turn-in was, it was a piece of heart.
I mean, the witch's assistant couldn't even give you her full heart, just a piece of it. Man, what a heartbreaker. So 3 of her runners. Zell is just finished up Eastern. Sabo is about to start the final boss. Relkin's in Eastern right now. Meanwhile, Karnath is dipping in for the big... Wait, what? Pyramid Fairy.
Interesting.
I had forgotten. For some odd reason, I thought the Turtle Rock was the other 5/6 crystal.
So there's a very cool little dash you can do if you go fast enough with the boots, that you can dash to the screen that the pyramid's on and not have the bomb explode. You get the bomb back. So it's always nice to see that done, but it's not always easy to do.
And here's Zell doing the same thing, but Karnath shows us it is not that.
Yep.
At this point, I think we've eliminated just about everything. I think Ether Tablet is the one thing. And Karnath might even be heading up to Ether Tablet right now. Man, he just wants to not dip any pendant dungeons, doesn't he?
He does not. But you have to believe that hand is going to be forced really quickly.
Oh,
Relkin's going to check it. Relkin is going to check. We're going to get our pedestal check, guys.
all right. Get your prayers in, chat.
What do we
Whatever
got
you
here?
do.
Nope. It's arrows.
Boo.
Rip head.
All right, Karnath checking the Ether Tablet, and it is
Just some bombs.
So Swamp Palace has still got to be the answer at this point in time. Unless it's in Mimic Cave, which would be horrible.
That would hurt. That would hurt just to see. Even just as a human being, that would hurt to see. Be like, really? You're gonna put it there, a double dip? Or not necessarily a double dip, but most people are gonna double dip that. Yeah, we're really just seeing Karnath go through here and try and clean up some of these overworld locations. That they haven't checked yet. Everyone else has. We know that most of these are going to be duds.
Oh, it looks like Zelga is actually heading down to Swamp, and Karnath is right on his tail.
Yeah, it looks like Zelga's going to be going to do the tablet first. Karnath's already done that, so Karnath probably going into Swamp Palace first. Karnath forgetting to do the mirror thing.
Relkin leaving a bomb for that hint tile that told you that the mirror was in Desert Palace, right next to the actual mirror.
I think that.
Yeah, that's how we all felt.
Yeah, I think that might be like the worst hint I've ever seen in my life. Of all the hints I've seen, and I've seen some particularly bad ones. I don't think I've ever seen a hint that tells you that the item that you're looking at in that room is in that room in that exact spot. That's just like, ow.
It's the definition of rude. Like, we really, really need to have a conversation with the Vitor. Be like, hey man, come on. Can the game be a little less rude to us?
Torp, can we not? Alright, so let's get digging here into Swamp Palace. First chest is going to be a bottle, obviously a green bottle for Karnath. Zelga will find that momentarily.
So, chat, let's get some guesses in here. Is it going to be on the... Because we haven't had a West Side Swamp hint yet, I don't believe. Where's it going to be here? It's got to be in here somewhere.
Yeah, for Swamp Palace, the maximum pain on this would be that it's in the big chest, and we don't get the big key till you beat Argus, so you have to come back in.
Oh, it could be Mimic Cave too. I forgot. Yep. Single rupee. And yes, they did do escape. This is a standard mode seed, so everyone did escape.
Yes, and everyone got bombed, so we've checked the escape room on the left there of the triple chest, and that's where we found silver arrows right at the start.
Yep. And we know it can't be a Misery Mire because we've already found both the items that are in Misery Mire. And in a standard mode seed, it's not like Key Sanity or anything like that. There are only 2 items in Misery Mire. So fortunately, it's not there.
Right, but there's 6 items here in Swamp Palace. So you know what we're seeing? Here's the divergence we're seeing, by the way. Sabo, Zelga, Argus first, Karnath, West Side check first.
This is going to well, I can't say that it's going to decide the race because Karnath still has to go back and do Ice Palace. Sabatender will still have to go back and do Ice Palace. Zell is in pretty good shape right now. There's the big key. Piece of heart. And
Zell's going to say, I'm good for now. I will not go back up the stairs and waste a little bit of time going up and down the stairs there. I'm just going to go to the back and hope that it's on Argus. Sabo, though, going to go ahead and check. Go up the stairs here. And, yep.
There it is.
There it is. There's the glitch. That one staircase, in case you've never played this game, or this version of the game, that one staircase, when it loads you in, it doesn't quite load you in the first time in the right spot, so you go in and go back down. It's the map.
Well,
Karnath found
yes,
it.
that was it. Yeah, and I was also saying there's the ice run.
On the west side. So Karnath with the nice play. Unfortunately for Zelga and Sabo, it's going to mean double dip. So we're in no mode. Wait, no. Yeah, we're in no mode because Karnath doesn't have that yet, but we're about to be in go mode. Once somebody goes back in and gets that.
And here's the real tragedy for Karnath is that even though we're in no mode, he's going to be full clearing swamp. and looking for that cane, hoping that it's here, and we know exactly where it's at. He could nope out of here right away. Oh my goodness.
So I believe of our 4 runners on the stream, I believe Zelga will be in P1 at the end of this, and Sabo will be a little bit further behind in P2 because going to have to go back in and get that Kina Samaria off of Cold Stare. Yeah, this was such a good seed at the start, and then of course, in typical randomizer fashion, decided to take a left hook at all the players almost, about 30 minutes in, and be like, yep, not gonna be easy anymore, guys.
And with that, Zell is in go mode. He is going to make a beeline up to Turtle Rock.
126.44. Pretty good time probably for the seed. One thing we don't quite know yet is if anyone who's not on the restream is already ahead of them, which is entirely possible. If you played the game right, as far as the routing, you may be already on your way to GT.
The nice thing is no one has done yet, though. So it's it's still wide open. 127. With everything that we got so early, I think these runners are feeling. At least Zell might be feeling pretty good about himself. Other than that early dip into Turtle Rock, that was really the only routing quote-unquote mistake, and I'm sure lots of runners ended up doing that just because Ice Rod has been on Laser Bridge so much.
Oh, has Zell not done? Zell did Eastern, right?
Zell did Eastern.
Like, yeah, everyone, I look over because someone in the chat had asked, Chance had asked if Zell had done Eastern. And I swore we saw both Zell and Salu complete Eastern about the same time. So, yeah, I was like thinking, yeah, it might just be input got eaten on the tracker, which happens since it's all done on the back end.
But hey, shout out still to our trackers, Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna, and then Red Armor, who stepped in real late into the game for tracking for us after that crazy start that we had. Thank you guys so much again for tracking. It's been one heck of a race.
Indeed. And of course, I also want to thank Don and Gark for helping out for a while until their internet went down, unfortunately. So they weren't able to continue helping us, but they did help for a little bit as well. So just want to make sure that we shout them out too. Yep. So for those wondering how Zelga got out in the lead here, at least on the stream, completion of Ice Palace. Went and finished off Cold Stare, who had the King of Samaria, and nobody else has gotten that far yet. We have seen Sabo go into Ice Palace, but did not complete it.
According to the tracker, Relkin has, but he's
Oh, Rilken has, yes.
yeah, but he's got some other work to do between Eastern Palace and Desert Palace.
Yeah, unfortunately, Sabo died on Cold Stare is what happened, and just kind of decided to nope out of there. So that's just a decision you got to make. Maybe thinking that it was another place, another location, not worth going back all the way down for the fight. Yeah, unfortunately, it was the case.
Zell with the 0 cycle on phase 1 of Trinex. That's impressive.
I just want to correct that. Ran out of magic, so did not necessarily die, but could do the thing. Well, it's about that time, isn't it, with Asia?
It is. Would you like to do this, or would you like me to do it?
Go for it.
Ladies and gentlemen of the randomizer community, there are 22 treasure chests that could possibly contain Ganon's Tower Big Key. Get your guesses in chat right now, 1 through 22. Which treasure chest opened will contain Ganon's Tower Big Key? The winner gets, love, affection, the internet's respect, whatever.
Are we still giving out Herfy's love? Is that still a thing that we do, Herfy Durfy's love?
I think Herfy Durfy ran out of love a long time ago.
Aw, oh dang. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick my usual one, which is 15. I started picking that because 15 kept winning all the time, so I figured try and...
Yeah, lucky number 9 for me. First one is... Okay, his first 2, nope. And he's doing just standard routing right now from the looks of it.
Yep. There it is, number 3. Big torch. I did see someone guessed 3. I know I saw a 3 in there.
That's early. Confirmed. Boots required.
Yep. So by the way, congratulations, Snafu. You got it. Number 3. Only one who guessed number 3 as well. So good job. That's kind of the quote unquote. That's kind of like the dream key. One of those locations, at least. If it's not on the right side, being on that torch means that you got a fast seed.
And the question in chat, how many small keys are needed for the gauntlet? You need 1 small key when you start the gauntlet. You can get more keys as you're going up from enemy drops, but you are required to have at least 1 key, which is why you didn't see Zell immediately mirror back up to the top. He went over and grabbed a key from the skull that was there in the next room. Oh no, Sabatender! Sabatender left! He was in Ice Palace and he left. No, Sabo,
please.
Yeah, Drossi, Cold Stare has the Cane of Samaria.
It's going up on top of the mountain now. Not pretty. Probably going up to check the stuff here. That hasn't been checked on his side.
Oh goodness. Oh yeah, well at least he can't double dip Turtle Rock. I mean that's
correct.
Yeah.
No, but this is going to be Ether Tablet check.
Worth noting, still no other racers in the community race have finished this race.
Nope, and Zelga's already into the most satisfying room in the game, part 1. About to hit part 2, so pretty far up the gauntlet by now. Making very quick work of this, doing an excellent job on execution. Very impressive.
Zell is just a beast when it comes to execution anyway. He's been masterful in this race. You know, the one routing decision that he made, and it's not even necessarily an error. He went into Turtle Rock, you know, hoping to find the ice rod there, and it just didn't work out for him, unfortunately. But otherwise, he's been doing phenomenal this entire race.
Absolutely. Oh, a little bit low on magic, but he'll be all fine. He'll be fine. There's that other key. It's got one, so that's all that's needed to get through this next room. Yeah, half magic somewhere in GT, or it's in Mimic Cave. I think. I don't think. Have we seen? We've seen Mimic Cave though, right?
No, we have not,
No,
because when everyone went through.
I was gonna say no, because everyone did go through, just go straight to Trinex. But yeah, Zell now one more room away through the last room with the Helmosaur. The last enemy you see in the game before you go fight Aga 2 and Ganon is Helmosaur. That's a nice little hint, nice little trivia and impress your friends with.
Zell frustrated with himself. He only got a single out of that one. And double, almost a triple.
Yeah, almost a triple. That's another double.
There's one more shot, I think.
Yep, that should do it. 1, 2, 2, 1. And somebody make sure we got the tiki torches and the luau, because boy, we're about to have a pig roast.
Hey-o. Can I just say, like, when Zell has some downtime, he's always like swinging his sword or bopping a wall or something in the rhythm of the music, and that just tickles me. I love that.
It is very nice. So doing a good job here. Did you know nutrition experts recommend at least half our daily greens come from whole grain products? Thank you, nutritional Ganon.
Grain facts. Relkin skipping left side swamp. Oh no. I hope he goes back.
Yep. And Zell's looks like on the phase 3. Yep. There's the stomp. Stompy stomp. Already got the silvers out, getting ready for this. Two swings down, 2 more to go. One more to go. If anyone's going to finish now, it's going to be a close race. Otherwise, Zell may be taking this one home. I gotta be careful, Zell. Don't fall off. Okay, we're good. Did you find the arrows I had left, like, right at the start of the game? Sure did. And wait for Ganon to come to the bottom. Oh, careful now. And a triple. Nice! Beautiful. I believe this will mean that Zell should finish P1 here in our race tonight. First on stream and first in the race. Just got to get across the bridge. Wait for the fanfare to end. And there we go. Zelga Desan with the overall win and the restream win. Can you please break us 3 up? Thanks. But there we go. A 1:38.24 official time. Get your GGs in chat. Very impressive run there. Really hard to find that one missing item, but yeah, Zelga, very, very good run by Zell throughout. Very clean, very consistent.
Meanwhile, Karnath just found his cane, so he is going to be on his way up to Turtle Rock and is in go mode now as well. Relkin
Indeed.
on his way over to pick up, and it looks like Sabatender finally got his.
Indeed, and we did have actually quite a race going on here because we just got a second finisher, not less than a minute behind Zell. Salty Fry coming in with a 1:39.15. Close race there between those two. Those are two pretty good runners, so.
Absolutely. And joining us now is Zelgadishin. GG's.
Hey, GG's, thank you.
Congrats, Zell. You did a good job. You did a really good job tonight with the way the seed had everything laid out. I mean, you know, it wouldn't be a randomizer seed, I guess, if Ice Rod didn't troll you, but
Yeah, I was feeling a little upset because, like, the first 20 minutes, man, I could do no wrong. And then it felt like about the next 30, 40, it was like I could do no right. But, yeah, the big thing would be, I guess, if I had gone to Eastern before Ice Palace, I probably wouldn't have had to do the Ice Rod hunt at the end. But you know what? I can't really complain about how I did this seed. This was, yeah, just basically full clear as you go and do some lucky plays like full clear Ice Palace.
yeah, you and Sabo were actually neck and neck at that point. Sabo ran into some magic issues, not having enough magic to finish off the fight with Colts there, so had to back out, and took a while until just recently to get in there and get back. So being able to finish that fight and get that King of Samaria really turned out to be a pretty good play.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to hear, at least for Sabo. I know for me, I had been really wondering about those flippers that we got so early and had led me to nothing. So that's why I decided to go to Ice Palace, even though I still had things like the Hosterless Closet. I felt like Ice Palace, the flippers had to be for something if we got them that early. Even if Ice and Swamp are pendants, there's got to be a reason. And I guess they were both the reason for once.
Yeah, this felt like one of those seeds because Ice Rod is the answer so frequently, and then we have to go to Laser Bridge, and it felt like you tried that early, and that was, I think, the one play that you made that didn't quite pan out in your favor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was getting a little worried about potentially something like Ether Tablet or Mimic Cave having the Ice Rod, just because I had kind of abandoned those spots on the mountain from following the Samaria as quickly as I did. But yeah, I just kind of lucked out. I think I had like 4 or 5 other spots off the mountain that I would have done. Probably next thing would have been probably the pedestal, to be honest, after doing Mire.
Yep. And I guess you're about to see what's on the pedestal. We know because Roken went and checked that it was just arrows, so...
Okay, yeah, I never really had a good chance. I could have routed it in with maybe Graveyard Ledge, which I didn't do, but that would be like the only chance I would really have to check the pedestal.
Yep, yeah, and Graveyard Ledge was just a big 20. Lamp, Jedders is asking where Lamp was. Lamp was on the Lake Hilly Island, right at the start. But yeah, we're actually seeing a really close race now between the other 3 runners on stream here. Relkin's actually pulled ahead of Sabo and Karnath. Was, of course, pretty impressive there because Relkin was a little bit behind both of them, but has now jumped them both and has got the approach here to get to Trinex. So it's going to be a close race here at the end.
It is, and it you know, looking at the community race, you know, there were quite a few forfeits. It felt like this seed really gave a lot of runners fits because it front loaded so much stuff. The entire world was open up to you, and then disaster.
Yeah, these are honestly the types of seeds that are really hard for me to play just because, like you said, the whole world is open. I try and, when I'm playing, really try and kind of piece together the logic chain, like where does the game want me to be? And when you get so much stuff that early, it's just, I guess I'll just do some crystals because I don't know what else to do.
Absolutely. It's almost like you have like so many options, and that kind of is almost a bad thing in a way with some of these seeds when they're this wide open, because you can just go so many different ways and there's not really a clear indication of where to go, and you just end up finding a lot of junk, which, you know, obviously since you found a lot of the necessary items, you're going to find a lot of junk and a lot of chests coming up. Yeah,
that's really the one only kind of regret, I guess I would have. Like, I don't necessarily regret Turtle Rock, but with the seed being as open as it was, putting off Eastern, which had the book, which led to the mirror, which led to the bow. So it was a forced double, but I just kind of put off the whole Eastern area just because I had so much stuff to be doing that I could have routed it apparently a little bit better, but I don't really super have any complaints about how I routed.
Yeah, and this not an easy seed either. You know, it seemed like it was going to be easy at the start, and it seemed like it was going to be easy at the end. But that middle really throwing a lot of people off to the point that we've only got 4 people that have finished in 145. So, other than obviously Salty Fry, who you mentioned finished second, I am the Schwartz finishing third with a 143.49. Exactly 1 minute later, Shire coming in with a 144.49. So we've got 4 people only that have finished this so far. Definitely looks like it threw a lot of people for a loop.
Zell, one thing that I'm always curious about, and because I'm not that great of a runner, it always makes me nervous. So I want to get your perspective on it, who's infinitely better than myself. The idea of when you have these front-loaded seeds, but because you've gotten nothing but progression items, your progression is looking like, okay, you have 5 hearts, green mail, only 1 sword, and you're like, oh, maybe I'm going to dip into Ice Palace right now. Does that make you nervous at all when you're stuck in that situation?
Sometimes. I mean, when you play a ton of these, you kind of, especially like for a while when V30 came out, inverted with kind of the new hotness. And so you kind of got used to doing like the really low equipment blind or cold stare even. Like I remember seeing a couple seeds that had Moon Pearl on cold stare, and you had to do it with like 5 hearts, a fire rod, and a fighter sword. So you kind of get used to it after a little while, but you always kind of give yourself some pause. Like even in this seed, I went and got some potions before I did it, just because you never really want to run into Ice Palace where you don't have magic.
So Relkin now into the gauntlet. Sabo has just entered Caden's Tower, and Karnath is now just finishing up Turtle Rock. So forfeits.
That was. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say the forfeits are piling up right now. A lot of people are just like noping out of this. But yeah, go ahead, Potato. What were we gonna say?
I was going to say the other location that had a lot of us curious, particularly in the comms booth, is that Mimic Cave, because the only checks that we saw early into Turtle Rock, you guys didn't have the mirrors, so that was in the back of our minds as well as the worst possible location ever for that ice rod.
Yeah, there was a qualifier I did a couple of days, I think it was over the weekend, that you had to get ether from the first chest of Turtle Rock so that you could get the mirror from Mire area, and then come back from Mimic Cave with the ice rod, and it was a disaster. And it was in the back of my mind this whole time. It's like, yeah, I don't want to do that again.
Did you consider it? Did you consider saying, no, it's not going to be in Swamp Palace, it's going to be in Mimic Cave? Did you consider making that play?
I did, and what I was thinking was I'll do Swamp and Graveyard Ledge, I think, and then one option would be run up to Mimic Cave and like save a portal in Turtle Rock, and then continue on with like Misery Mire and stuff. I was debating between the Misery Mire to Pedestal and then that Mimic Cave route. But thankfully, I didn't have to deal with it since we found the Ice Rod left side swamp.
Relkin now at Moldorm 2.
And he gets knocked down.
Yeah. Little too aggressive there on the charge, and Moldorm just was like, rejection. Boom.
Some frustration slashes there from Sabotender.
And by the way, congrats to Shiva Hayes, 5th place finisher at a 148.41. So, still got people working on this seed. It's not playing too nice, but you know, a lot of people still going, a lot not giving up yet. So, even with the little pile of forfeits that we've built up at the bottom of the timer.
Absolutely, and anything sub 2 hours is still phenomenal for a randomizer race. So this one happened to go a little bit faster, but if you're a casual person and you just want to get into speedrunning and taking a look at it, you know, if sub 2 hours is phenomenal. So shoot for that. One thing we do have to mention at this point in time, we're gonna have to start signing off now, unfortunately. We're gonna let you guys know there is actually a Splatoon 2 single-player tournament that's going to be here on SG2 here, starting in 5 minutes. So we're wanting to get them plenty of time to get set up. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see the end of this race. Relkin taking out Ganon or any of these other runners, unfortunately. But I do want to thank again Zelgadizan, Karnath FD, Rilkin, and Sabotender for volunteering to be on the restream for us tonight. Thank you guys so much. Another big shout out to Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna, Red Armor, and our third tracker from earlier this evening doing all the work. And big thank you to Neon Tiger, my co-com.
Of course, Vitasia, always good to work with you. Thanks for co-common with me. Remember, good night, good luck, good RNG, someone out there loves you, we love you too. Relkin's already on to phase 2 here. Don't know if he'll finish by the time we gotta sign off, but thanks for being here, everybody.
Yeah, we'll see everyone at the next race. Frostbite 3030 just finished in 6th place, 151.45. Thank you guys so much.